Hello. Yes, we welcome you back to PSSB, Physical Sciences Silver Bullet with me, Richard here. Okay, today we are looking at this question. It says, intense charge at a point can be transferred or discharged on contact or without contact through a small gap between objects. Okay, what term is given to glow observed in air during intense charge transfer? Okay, we normally observe this that when a point has very high charge, so when another object comes, there's a tendency for some kind of glow, like light, jumping from one object to the other. Okay, that glow happens because at one point there's very high charge. So that charge can be discharged on contact or without contact through air. Now, when that charge is discharged through air, we normally see light, small freak of light between the two objects during the transfer of charge. And the question says, what time is given to the glow observed in air during the intense charge transfer? What do you call that? That light, that glow between the two objects during the transfer of the charge? We call it spark. That glow, that light we see jumping from one point to another through air, we call it spark. Okay, sometimes also spark occurs during contact, like when you have a battery and you connect a wire on one terminal and a wire on the other terminal. When you bring the two wires and you touch them, there's that light also which we observe. So spark can occur on contact or without contact, that is through air. Yeah, that is that. Then we come to this question. It says, mention any two dangers which can be caused by intense charge transfer named in one above. Okay, this intense charge transfer, which we have referred to as a spark or which we call spark. So what are the dangers associated with the spark? Okay, the first one is that if it occurs in the presence of a flammable liquid or flammable gas, it can cause fire. Yeah, that's one. It can start fire in the presence of a flammable material. So what is the second danger the spark can cause? It can cause electric shock of animals and people. Yeah, that is that. Yeah, then we come to this question. It says that lightning is a natural phenomenon during which intense electrostatic discharge occur, resulting in sparking. Okay? Then the question says, briefly explain how houses are protected from lightning. Okay, this is not very common, but there is a fork-like structure. Let me have a simple diagram here. It is of recent, it's becoming very rare, but on a house like this one, there is a fork-like structure which is put here at the topmost part of the house. Then it comes and goes to the ground. We call that one hearthing the house. So what happens is that during lightning normally strikes the highest point. So it normally strikes the lightning conductor. So when intense electrical discharge occur, the high volume of electrons which would go through the house is transmitted through the conductor to the earth. We have to know that the earth is a good receiver and donor of electrons. So in other words, the lightning is safely discharged to the ground without any harm. But of recent, it's becoming rare, but it used to be very common. Actually, it's very common in lightning tense regions, or in regions where lightning is very common. Yeah, that is that. Um, During lightning, the conductor safely conducts electrons to the ground. Yeah, then comes this question. It says that shopping trolleys sometimes, through friction, generate static charges which can cause electric shock to people. Okay, briefly explain how this is prevented. Okay, I don't know whether you have ever experienced it, but sometimes the trolleys we use for shopping in supermarkets, they can shock you when you just touch it. The reason is, especially if you are touching it and you are leaning on the wall, or you are somehow touching the ground. The cause is this, that during the time when electric trolley is moving, there's some kind of friction force on the bearing which generate a lot of charges. So those charges remain static. So when you touch it and you are touching the wall, or you are somehow touching the ground, the charges are forced to go through you. We normally we experience shocks when electrons are going through us. So when you are touching the earth or touching the ground, electrons will flow through you to the ground. So you experience the shock. But when you are well insulated, like when you are having proper shoes and you're not touching the ground, you can't experience it, because charges cannot go through you. The circuit is somehow incomplete. So we experience it when you're touching the ground or touching the wall. But the question comes, I'll briefly explain how this is prevented. How can we prevent electric shock? Okay, we can prevent it by attaching, you normally see it actually. There's a small chain sometimes which is attached to the trolley, and that chain goes on dragging on the ground. That chain is earthing the trolley. So the charges which are created by friction as you push the trolley are safely conducted to the ground. Yeah, that is that. And with that, I would like to say thank you for your time. The channel is PSSA, Physical Sciences Silver Bullet, with me, Richard, here. We appreciate your time. We urge you to subscribe, to comment, to like, to share. And we need to remind you that this channel, PSSB, Physical Sciences Silver Bullet, is a YouTube science channel handling physical sciences, grade 12, 11, and 10, and natural sciences, grade 8 and 9. We recommend that when you are using our channel, please use the playlist. Just go to the playlist and look for the material which belongs to your level. For grade 8 and 9, look for natural sciences grade 8 or natural sciences grade 9. For grade 11 and 10, look for physical sciences grade 11 or physical sciences grade 10. For grade 12, each topic is handled independently. So just look for the topic or chapter of your choice, and then you'll have all the material which you need. So with that, I would like to say thank you. Stay blessed. See you next time. Bye bye.